Another video. I am gearing up for Vlogmas in like 2 weeks or so. I'm gonna try and pre-record some of those videos for Vlogmas because I don't want to. I do it every year, right? Like do one video a day for Vlogmas. But anyway, so I'm busy trying to make sure those videos are stacked so that I have enough for every day of the month and I can be more consistent. But I've got a few minutes, so I'm going to tell you guys a couple of stories and then I'm going to explain why I'm telling you that and talk about it in relation to health and fitness. So, first, I want to tell you that one of the words that was very popular in my house growing up because we were all athletes was the word fundamentals. So it was, and my dad would always say, you need to know your fundamentals of basketball. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Just get down your fundamentals and then you're good. And so that would involve doing things like shooting 100 layups on your right side, doing 100 layups on your left side, then dribbling 100 times with your right hand, dribbling 100 times with your left hand, then shooting free throws with one hand 100 times, and then shooting your free throws 100 times with your supporting hand, and then going to shoot jump shots, and then shooting 3-point shots. And those were the fundamentals, right? And so I heard that a lot growing up. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you guys don't know, I coach a lot of kids. I coach a lot of kids in speed and agility. Outside of nutrition and health coaching, I run that business. And when I started that business, social media was not a big thing. And speed coaching was not a big thing. And track coaching was not a big thing. Just coaching athletes was not a big thing. So I basically came up with this program from scratch that I knew, and I used my own knowledge, my own interactions with other coaches, my own, experience to come up with this program. And I got a lot of really good results. And then social media started coming up and I started, seeing all these different, drills and exercises, and I'm constantly online and I'm looking at what everybody else is doing and I'm like, "Oh, I should be doing that." So I changed what I was doing. And I noticed that my athletes weren't getting better. They weren't making progress as fast or as quickly as they had before. And that's when I realized that a lot of the stuff that's on the internet is just fluff. It's just fluff. It's not fundamentals. It's not the basics. You're never going to see the basics on the internet. Why? Because the basics don't get views. The basics are not exciting to watch. The basics are boring. The fundamentals are boring. The fundamentals are hard for people to do consistently. So why am I telling you this about health and fitness? The point is that there's a lot of people, and I do it too, just spending all their time scrolling and saving exercises and saving this and saving that, chasing random stuff to do online when they haven't done the fundamentals. Chasing random stuff online. Like, okay, I'm gonna order this supplement, then I'm gonna do these exercises. Oh, this guy, this guy or this girl has this body. I'm gonna do what they're doing. Meanwhile, they're still not getting 8 quality hours of sleep. They're not drinking their water. They're not doing timed eating intervals. They're not strength training consistently. They're not eating well consistently, but they're chasing because they're watching all of this stuff. And like I said, I got caught up in that too. And they're wondering, well, why did I make progress? Why am I not, doing well? Because first of all, you're not consistent with anything. And if you are consistent, you're consistent with the wrong things. You're not consistent with the fundamentals of health and fitness. And at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says, you guys, if you are not in a caloric deficit, you're not going to lose weight, period. There's all these terms about water weight and like inflammation. I'm here to tell you guys that's all BS. Like, to a degree, yes. If you're pregnant, we can talk about water weight. Otherwise, you're simply just eating too much. If you are not, again, eating healthy amounts of protein, carbs, and fats, normal amounts of protein, carbs, and fats daily, you have no business scrolling online and buying the latest supplement. But so many of us are frazzled and confused about why our stuff isn't working. Why isn't my plan working? Why is it? because you're not doing the right things. You're not doing the fundamentals. You're not doing the basics. You keep thinking that there's a magic pill. And again, I have to this is why I've stopped being online so much, you guys. I because it really we don't realize how much it affects the way that we behave also. We don't realize how much it affects how we think, how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis. That's why the Bible says be careful what you allow your eyes to see, be careful what you allow your ears to hear, like protect that because it does have an effect on you. And so if I'm constantly online and I'm watching all these magic pills, now they won't call them magic pills, but they'll say the exercise that you should be doing in order to grow your glutes, or the exercise, the food you need to be eating if you want to lose weight. And it's something different from last week. And so you now switch up your whole life because some random influencer told you to start doing this. Yeah, this is why you're not succeeding. This is why you're not succeeding because you are still chasing after something that is not the fundamentals. Nobody has ever lost weight doing some random tertiary exercise. The only way people have lost weight is consistently eat in a caloric deficit, drink enough water, get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night, manage your emotions. That's the biggest piece is that people don't manage their emotions and stop binging on the weekends. Strength train consistently and do some cardio. That's the only way people have lost weight. If they do those things truly and honestly for 6 months, they will see progress. But the reality is that most people are watching online and they're going, "Ooh, ooh, squirrel, 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 next latest thing." Or they think that the problem is their workout. Baby, you're not I guarantee you that the reason why you're not losing weight is not because of your workout. It is not the exercise that this person told you to do. It's actually because you're eating too much. But we get caught up in this cycle of like, oh, what is this person telling me I should be doing? What is this person saying? What is this influencer doing? And it's like, no, what are the things that work? What are the things that we know work? I'm in a course right now with hundreds of professionals. And last week I was paired with a woman who has been in the fitness industry, you guys, for like 45 years. Okay. And I was going, well, don't you feel like a lot has changed? And she goes, no, it really hasn't. What's changed is the number of people telling you what you should and shouldn't do. But the basics, what actually works, has not changed. But we keep wanting to go do this, that, and the third. Not much has changed. There are a few things in the industry that have changed, but the basics remain the same. So don't get caught up in the distraction of what is this influencer saying? What is that person saying? No. What are the basic tenets? What are the basic fundamentals of health? What are the basic fundamentals of building muscle? What are the basic fundamentals of losing weight? Do those things. There's there's always going to be someone who will tell you that you're wrong. And I will tell you this about my coaching thing. So for a long time, I didn't tell anybody how I was getting all these athletes faster. Number one, because my stuff was proprietary and I didn't want anybody else to know. But I also knew that if I started telling people what I was doing, they would tell me that I was wrong because they would be like, "Oh, well, this is the latest and greatest thing." So about a week ago, Carl Lewis, if you guys don't know who that is, Carl Lewis is one of the top Olympic sprinters and coaches in the United States. And Carl Lewis reiterates what I've been saying for the last 5 years. And I just went about my day because I was like, you know what? I know. And everybody's like, groundbreaking. I'm like, no, I knew that was right. But you guys all got caught up in these random people telling you how to coach, telling you how to teach speed. And I decided that I was just going to do what I knew was right. And if I had listened and I had continued down that path of, oh, this is what this coach is saying. This was some random influencer who has never ran track in his life is saying. This is some random influencer who just has a bunch of people on Instagram following him. My athletes would be getting slower. But I was like, oh no, these are the fundamentals. And I still do the fundamentals. I don't care what anybody says. I still do all the random boring drills that everybody thinks are useless. Because at the end of the day, people are like, oh my gosh, why do your athletes run like that? Because I coach them the same way that I was coached in basketball, which is I don't care. And the same way I was coached in track. I know it's boring to do 100 dribbles on your right hand, 100 on your left. Single. I know it's so. Oh my gosh, it's tedious. And then tedious. And then jump shots. If you really want to go deep, then you're doing defensive slides up and down the court, so that you don't get tired when you're playing defense. But some other coach will have these kids standing on a ball and squatting because it's fancy. So this is my rant about stick to the fundamentals of health and fitness. I don't care what these people are, they're lying to you. They're lying to you to sell a buck, to make a buck. They're lying to you. Okay? Stick to the fundamentals. Do not wait till you're 60 to decide, oh, I'm going to deal with my emotional garbage. I'm going to deal with the reason why I won't get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. I'm going to wait till I'm 60 to deal with my food, selection. No, don't do that. Don't wait until all this stuff hasn't worked. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking that you're going to get a different result. Don't do it. Just stick to the fundamentals of health. I know there's a ton of information out there. I know that it seems like everybody has a solution, but the solution forever and always will be do the fundamentals. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.